Alright, welcome back to Madden Predicts 2021 records. We are on episode 3 on the third team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like I said, not going to be too much of an intro. Madden's going to predict every single game start to finish on their upcoming 2021 season. And the three players we're going to keep track of on their stats will be Tom Brady, Mike Evans, and Ronald Jones II. With that being said, week 1, let's go. Well, we start off the Buccaneers season with the win over the Dallas Cowboys 38-35. Dak Prescott falls short in his first game return from injury, and the Bucs will start 1-0. Next game will be a similar story as the Bucs will win at home versus the Falcons, this time in a really low-scoring game, 14-6 over the Atlanta Falcons. Expected 2-0 start for the Buccaneers, but now versus the Rams, 21-20 at the 2-minute warning. We start with the first pass. This one's to Chris Godwin. That's going to pick up 11 yards for Tom Brady. Next play after that, Tom Brady going deep for the end zone, and this one's to Scotty Miller, who just burnt Jalen Ramsey. How about that? And that's in the end zone for a touchdown, 35 yards to the house, 26-21. But wait a second, there's a booth review. Haven't seen much of these yet. Let's take a look at this pass. Was it complete? Couldn't see from that angle. Get us another angle. Right here, foot down, drag. That's a catch. That should be a touchdown. And that call is going to stand. They're going to go for 2 though, because if they get this 2-point conversion, it'd be a touchdown difference game. Right here, Tom Brady looks for the pass. It's caught, but it's out of the end zone. Chris Godwin had his body in, but not the ball. So the Rams stop with Jalen Ramsey on the tackle at 26-21. Rams would get the ball back. Their first pass would go to Cooper Kupp right here. And, oh, it's on the ground. Strip fumble right there. Picked up by the deadly Bucs defense, and we'll now get to a return. We'll get taken down around the 10-yard line now, and just like that, the Buccaneers, all they have to do is take this clock away with some knees with Tom Brady. The ball is just poked free right here for Cooper Kupp. My guess is that was Devin White. Sure it was, and picked up by the Buccaneers defense. Right here, Tom Brady, he's in his X Factor, going to hand off to Ronald Jones Jr., or second, and he just bulldozes his way in the end zone, and that's a touchdown, adding on to the lead for the Buccaneers. They win this game 33-21 over the LA Rams. So that's a 3-0 start for the Buccaneers. Next game after that, it's the Patriots. It's Tom Brady's return to Foxborough, and Cam Newton down by 7 to the Buccaneers with 1:30 on the clock. They hand this one off to James White and straight into the end zone. 20-19 now. They'd get the extra point, and they tied this game with the James White rushing touchdown. Tied at 20. Looks like the Buccaneers are going to get the ball back, and they end up doing nothing, so I'm pretty sure this game ends up going to overtime after this. Let's see. Yeah, that's because Tom Brady takes a large sack. So yeah, this game's going to go into overtime, tied at 20 after that huge sack, loss of 12 yards. And you can see the Patriots get the ball first, 3 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. Cam Newton, play action. No, he actually runs this one off to James White. This is the first play. It's going to gain 3 yards right here. They line back up at second down and 7. This one's going to be a slant to Sanu Jr., or Mohamed Sanu. And he's all the way to the end zone. Touchdown Patriots. They walk this one off. It's actually Sanu Sr. And I'm pretty sure he used to be an Atlanta Falcon. And the Patriots stun the Bucs. And Tom Brady's return, I guess you can call that revenge. First loss to the Buccaneers. They get back on track though. They get a win versus the Dolphins 34-30. So they're now sitting at 4-1. Next game they beat the Eagles. No surprise there. They're not really a good team. 26-7. And that's now 5-1 for them. Versus the Chicago Bears, they're up, but they just got to get this first down. The Bears still have a chance. Tom Brady looks for the pass here with 1:30, and he's going to go to the right sideline for a toe tap, and Mike Evans is in. What a catch, what a grab. Let's take a look at that real quick, see if he stays in, and he sure does. Great catcher there, stays in bounds. And the Buccaneers would more likely move on to win this game. But they would have had a touchdown here if Chris Godwin... Why would you do that, Chris Godwin? I'm guessing you guys saw that. And Ronald Jones does not get a touchdown. Gets stripped off the board. But the Buccaneers still end up winning 14-13 versus the Chicago Bears. Next game after that is versus the Saints, 17-17. Close game here. Tom Brady backs up, looks for a pass down midfield, and he has it. This one's to Antonio Brown at the 43-yard line now. 45 seconds left. They decide not to call a timeout. They line up with half a minute. First down and 10. Tom Brady looks for another pass. And this one, oh my goodness, he just made him look dirty. This one's going to go to the 44-yard line. That was embarrassing. First timeout call for the Bucs. 20 seconds left. Tom Brady at the logo. Pass complete. This one, fumble on the ground. Picked up by the Saints. The Buccaneers had a drive going. And now the Saints with Marshawn Lattimore dive on it. And this one, once again as we go to overtime. We've seen many overtime games these last few videos, and looks like the Buccaneers will get the ball first, and I'm just going to speed this up because the Buccaneers, all they did was just drive for a constant 5 minutes, so you can just see this in a really fast time lapse. They would end up getting down the field, and they would, if you can watch it right here, would get a field goal kick. There it is, I was waiting for it. 17-17, and there's still time on the board. This wouldn't win the game for them because the Saints get the ball back with 50 seconds left. It'd be 20-17. Now the Saints are going to get the ball back, and 3rd down and 10 for Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston has been on fire in my last few videos. I don't know why he's so good, but apparently he is. Speak of the devil, here he goes, deep ball, that's a catch. Michael Thomas at the 8-yard line, but look at the clock for a second. You see how it says 5 seconds on the clock? Pay attention to that. The clock's going to reach zeros, and I'm going to slow down this frame right here. Overtime ended, and the Buccaneers have the lead 20-17, but apparently we're still playing. So we have another overtime period. That makes no sense. The game should be over. The Bucs should have won. But a new overtime period started. 3rd down and goal for the Saints, and the Buccaneers just got absolutely screwed as the Saints get a touchdown right here, and they end up winning the game. So that was a very Madden-like way to lose, giving them an extra 6 minutes to play considering overtime ended, but the Saints win 23-20. Next game, Washington defense didn't feel like trying, 40-9. Very unrealistic score, but the Buccaneers get on track with another win, and then continuing after that, they're going to play against the Giants, and this proves why Danny Dimes is the GOAT. He just beat some washed 40-year-old man. Daniel Jones gets the win, better quarterback right there. And they won by double digits as well, 30-20 over the Buccaneers. Kind of out of all games you lose that one. But continuing on, Colts, I don't even know what happened there. 31-3, no comment on that one. Carson Wentz still playing even though he's injured. Next game after that is going to be the Falcons. The Bucs will sweep the Falcons 31-21, no surprise there. And they're going to continue on after this game of the Falcons versus the Bills, sorry. 31-24 with 45 seconds left. The Bucs are down by a touchdown. Tom Brady looks for the pass. This one's a deep ball. Someone out for it. Yes, Mike Evans caught at the 15 and ran into the touchdown. Now at 31-30, and that was an absolute bomb from Tom Brady to Mike Evans. 70+ yards. They would get the extra point to tie it. And then Bills get the ball back. Josh Allen, I don't even know what he's trying to do. Your spin move, loses it, gets crazy, and the Bucs just jump on it and get it back. Another fumble. These Bucs are good at punching the ball loose, and Josh Allen, I have no clue what you're trying to do there. He's trying to hit a spin move and just loses it. And now it looks like, is that Ndamukong Suh? Yeah, it is. He picks it up, and the Bucs get the ball back now with a chance to win this game, which at 2nd down and goal, they're going to waste all the time into a field goal kick to win the game. Ryan Suckup, he got it, and that's 34-31. The Bucs walk off with a win versus the Bills. Next game after that, I believe, is going to be, if I'm not wrong, it's the Saints again, yeah. 27-27, overtime again, looking for some revenge in last overtime, and they got it. Mike Evans dives into the end zone, and the Bucs get the revenge versus the Saints in another overtime game. This one would be 33-27. Next game after that is going to be the Panthers. They didn't even feel like putting up 1 point, 27-0. First shutout we've seen in a long time. Sam Darnold, come on, I know he's better than that. He can at least put up a field goal for his team, and they won't. The next game after that, I don't understand how Tom Brady loses to Daniel Jones and Zach Wilson, but that just further proves how both those quarterbacks are more elite. 23-20 over Tom Brady and the Bucs. The Jets win. I'm not too sure what happened there. And then their final game, they'll end with a win versus the Panthers again, 44-20, meaning that the Buccaneers went 13-4 in these simulations. Alright, so that concludes Madden's prediction on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have going 13-4, not too far from my prediction, but more about that in a second. Let's talk about Tom Brady. 5,800 yards. That breaks the record. I know there's 17 games now, but that shatters Peyton Manning's record, which I think was like 5,500 yards. Tom Brady, 5,866 yards on 46 touchdowns, and so far the least amount of picks of the last 3 episodes with only 8 interceptions. Those are Aaron Rodgers-like interceptions right there, and Tom Brady yards and touchdowns. That's insane. That's like a hybrid of some of the best quarterbacks ever, and that is a potential, if this happened, MVP year for Tom Brady. Mike Evans, once again, you got to have a 1,000-yard season for Mike Evans. He always does, with 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 115 receptions. And Ronald Jones II, of course, he's going to share the ball with some multiple backs with Leonard Fournette, so he's not going to have much yards as other running backs. He'll have 720 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 233 attempts. Like I was saying, Madden predicted the Buccaneers to go 13-4, just one game shy of my prediction, which was 14-3, so I'm doing just a little bit better. Points for Buccaneers scored 479 points, but this is the better part. Points against, only 325 points scored against their defense. That's pretty good. Let's take a look at some more advanced stats. We'll start with Tom Brady, averaging 345 yards per game. I feel like that's probably a record too. That's a lot of yards. With his best game being in Week 15, 450 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's pretty good. Mike Evans, his best game, well, he has 12.4 yards per catch, but his best game was Week 14 with 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 11 receptions. And Ronald Jones II, only 3.1 yards per carry. Like I said, he's going to share some downs with some other backs. His best game was the final week in Week 18 with 52 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 18 attempts. Points per game, 28.2 points scored per game for the Buccaneers, but this is the good part. Points allowed per game, only 19 points allowed per game. That's pretty good for the NFL, and the point differential is just as good too. Plus 154 more points scored than allowed. Pretty good for the Buccaneers, and that wraps up Tampa Bay. Thank you guys for watching episode 3, and stay tuned for episode 4, which I believe is the Kansas City Chiefs or the Ravens. Not too sure yet. I'll see you guys later.